Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Today is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, I had this all down pat this morning. May 28th, 2025. It's my 182nd Flosstube and it's about, let's see, what time is it? 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I had intentions of doing this a lot earlier, but Sal and I finally bit the bullet and went for new cell phones. And we changed carriers, so everything takes a lot of time. And actually we upgraded to an iPhone, and this is our first iPhone. So it's gonna be a learning experience for both of us. So that being said, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy what you see today. I hope you're inspired to join in the fun. And I just want to know, do you notice anything different? I put on my old glasses. I found them and I put them on. And I walked in the kitchen, see if Sal noticed. He didn't. But I said to him, I don't know, what do you think? If, like, the next time I go for glasses, should I go with a frame that actually you can see, or stick with these kind of like invisible ones? He says, go for the color. Just don't get pink, is what he said. I had gone to Costco when he was having his glasses done, and they had these like pink with rhinestones on them and everything. I thought they were real cool, but they did make me look older, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, welcome if you're new, welcome if you're returning. I'm always so happy that you do. Since the last time we were together, I think I videotaped last Wednesday, if I remember correctly. This piece of hair is bothering me. And Layla and Gianna came over on Thursday together because Gianna didn't have school. They gave them extra days because they didn't use snow days. So I had her on Thursday. I said, oh, bring her over on Thursday. Layla will be here. They'll be able to play together. Well, it worked out really well in that they did play together, but they wanted grandma there too. So there was no time off for grandma. And by the end of the day, I was tired. But it was fun just the same. It was good to see them playing together. And then on Sunday, we had a little barbecue, but it wasn't the usual big crowd that we had. We were only about 15, I think, with the grandchildren. Amy's parents came, and her sister, and Rebecca's parents came. And then just my usual kids with their families. And Michael brought over their bouncy house. And so grandma had to get into that bouncy house and play with them. And I told them, I says, no pictures, please. That would have been blackmail on they would have had to blackmail me to pay them for not to show them. I didn't know how uncoordinated I was in a bouncy house. But it was tons of fun. And then we played Duck, Duck, Goose. And the little ones, they don't understand Duck, Duck, Goose. So when so Gianna was the duck, I guess, and we were the goose. Duck, duck, and we were duck. And then if you got a goose, you chased her. So she tapped me as the goose, and I had to chase her. And boy, that 4-year-old is, well, she's going to be 4-year-old in August, and she was fast. I was booking it. It was fun, though. We had a lot of fun, and they stayed. I guess the last ones that left at 8 o'clock. And then Sal and I, we didn't have too much more to clean up. We were trying to keep on top of it as it was going on. And, but there was no stitching that night, that's for sure. No stitching that night. And then on Monday was the actual holiday of Memorial Day. And thanks to all the veterans who've served and who've lost their lives for our freedom. Thank you very much to all their families that they left behind. And then last night, so yesterday I had a library meeting every Tuesday. They meet at the library. And my friend Pat saw this fabric. Somebody gave it to her and she thought of Caleb. And it's all different animals from the different letters of the alphabet. so she said, even if you don't do anything with it and you just give it to him, but I think I might just back it and do some, put some batting in it and just do some kind of throw for him. And so thank you very much, Pat. Caleb will love that. And then last night we had a Zoom meetup with Dina, Donna, and Dina, half stitch, cross stitch. And we did a lot of planning, and we're going to involve you in it as well. So stick to the end if you're interested in joining us. And I'll talk about it then. So I'm going to get right into what I have been stitching since we were last together. I had a few new starts. And that's what we're going to start with. The first new start that I worked on was from the Winds of Autumn book by Blackbird Design. I started October 31st. And I'm stitching this with black coffee. Classic Colorworks, is it? Yes, Classic Colorworks black coffee. And I'm stitching it on a piece of fabric. 28 count. I don't really know what, I think it's the remnants of this fabric that I stitched. We Will Always Remember. I think that was Plum Street. Don't quote me on that. I'm doing this on the top of my head, and this is the back of the piece. And that's how far I've gotten. Let's see, I put in 598 stitches. Some pieces I counted the stitches I worked on. Now, oh, and I know. I'm one stitch too high, but in the scheme of things, it's not going to make a difference. I'm not going to make a drum. I'm just going to make a round finish. And it's 28 count Lugana. I don't remember the name of the fabric, but it's like a grayish modeling. Did I have it here? Oh, I was going to originally do it on mushroom, but then I found that piece and it fit, so that's what I decided to do. Then Nutcracker was called this month for Whipgo. So I touched it twice. The first time I put in 728 stitches, and then the second time I put 457 for a total of 1,185 stitches. I'm in a good mood today. Pardon me if I'm acting a little weird. So I had to add in all the snowflakes. I don't remember if you saw Mr. Drosselmeyer from his toy store, but then I worked on the top border. I did not get it to the end yet. I had to move the Q-snap. I finished the word. I think I had nut, maybe a C. So I finished Nutcracker and Village, and I did another section of the tree. And the reason you see just one X there, he has an eye patch. So I'll eventually put in the outline stitch that, you know, goes across his face, holding his eye patch. And I guess a French knot. We're getting closer. And this is stitched on a 28 count Country Mocha. Using DMC. It's the call for DMC in the pattern. Like it calls for probably Classic Colorworks weeks. And then they have the conversion to DMC. And I'm using the DMC on it. Okay. Then I I worked on April Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. This is what it looks like. And since you've seen it, I finished the wagon. I didn't do the spokes yet. Finished the wagon. I put in his pants. I did the green in the daffodils. So I still have to put the flowers in. But I was going to put the call for shirt color. I think it was called butter something. Let's see. Pumpkin pie. Was it called? No. Reading these toffee. It was called for toffee. And I don't think the toffee would have went with the rest of the pastel-y colors that I've been using. So I think I'm going to look for, I don't know. I was thinking a gray shirt, and then it shows like a whitish sleeve, like maybe that's a sweater vest. So that's why I didn't put in too much on this. I did 408 stitches between all that. So I'm making it like more springy, but I'm working on figuring out colors as I go. And that's why I haven't gotten too far on it, but I plan on picking it up again in June. I think it was on the list. Then I picked Angel of Light by Lavender and Lace, and I'm doing this on a 28 count country mocha. The Brenda Gervais Wordplay is on 16 count beige Ada. This is the Lavender Lace Angel of Light, and I put in 503 stitches. It almost like you can't tell, but I worked on this section from here all the way over to there. Let me see, I can turn it a little bit more so I can just show you where I worked on. This one down here. So some of this green, and then I extended it to that fold. And this is where she's at. See if I double it up so it shows better. Nope. So where I'm at. So I worked in this section right in here. So I think the next section that has, like this white is done except for the beads in there, or gold Cricut. So this doesn't extend anymore. So the next time I think it's going to be working in that section. Yeah. See, the white is all there, and then this section has to be worked on next. And then I go back to the white. So she's coming there. She's coming along. I'm loving this. Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher, started it along with me, as well as Lynn. The Lancashire Stitcher started it. And we just call them start-alongs because everybody stitches what they want, when they want, how they want. So the thought that they started it was really nice. This is my monthly project, 12 Days of Christmas by Annie Dees. Stitching this on 14 count black Ada. This is the one I was working on, and I completed that one. So now I have 5 completed. They're not in order. Here, let me see if I can double it. It looks a lot better when it's doubled because of the black shows so much better. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Because after like the 2, the 3, and the 4, it mimicked the 4 items, like were there 4 calling birds, 3 French and 4 calling birds. So they had 4 birds. So instead of doing the 4, I said, let me do 1. And then I went to the 5 golden rings because that didn't seem too much stitching. So now I go back to most likely 4, I guess. I'll see what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'll finish all 12 of them this year, but I'll keep working on them. This is like my during the day project or early morning. So I didn't put it on in June. I think I needed a break, but if I have an opportunity to work on it, whether it be in the morning or early afternoon, if it's in the Q-snap and it's up on my Patoki stand, I'm more likely to do that. So the next one was the Red House sampler, which is my oldest WIP. Everything came out. Okay, let's put most of this back. I make working copies because I can't show you, but they send it in these plastic envelopes, and they tell you that, you know, keep it in there to preserve it. And so I make copies of it so that I'm trying to figure out where the front part is. Oh well. Oh, it's in this envelope. Okay, I'm good. Everything came out when I pulled it out. So this is what the Red House sampler looks like by the Sampler Company. It's called to be stitched on 16 count Rustico Aida, 18 count Rustico Aida. And I am doing the call for this. And I stitched 706 stitches. And what I did was, I'm trying to think, did I pick it up twice? No. I outlined these 4 flowers, and this one was outlined, and then I filled this one in as well as these 4. And I was tempted to continue, oh, and then I did the leaves on these tops and the other dots above them. I still have to put one in here and then so forth. And I thought maybe I just had, it was in the Q-snap, so all I saw was this flower. So I said, oh, maybe I only have 3. Maybe the next time the next day I'll just keep working on it. But then when I took it off the Q-snap and I saw I had these 3, and then I had 1, 2, 3, 4 to add, I says, not now. And this is what it looks like. I still have to put birds up in this section. And it's coming along really nicely. I guess if it's still not completed in July, I think I might have it be my focus piece where I'll work on it for two days. That's my focus now, something to be worked on for 2 days. I used to do a 2-day rotation, and ever since the Great British Bake Off that we participated in, or we did, and ever since then, I've been doing these weekly videos. So every day I've been switching it up to something else that I've been stitching. Okay. Then I had a new start. And that is Summer Trio by Puntini Puntini. I had finished this a couple of months ago that I shared with you, and I wanted to do this pillow next, Time to Relax. And I don't know, I think it was the colors that drew me into this. And this is stitched on a 28 count Days Gone By Lugana, it's called. And it looks like the sand, a color of sand. And this is where I've stitched. So let me turn the page here. And I put in 869 stitches. So I did this ice cream cone and time and REL. So this is, let me hold it here like this. So I'm enjoying it. It was a lot of fun. And I would have liked to stitch it the next day, but to have more to share, I only stitch one day now. So this is the previous one, the beach pool, and that's the next pillow. And I really think this fabric looks like sandy shores. So I'll have enough for at least 2 more beach themed items on this. I like that. I notice I have a lot of Christmas, not much spring, some summer, but I think I stitched too much Christmas. Speaking of winter, I started another project last night, and it's from the Cricut collection, Winter. I only did autumn of this series so far, and I do want to do them all. So I'm stitching this on a 28 count light blue Aida that I bought from 123 Stitch. And it's not exactly the blue in the photo, but I think it should show the white, hopefully. It's a big piece. I got half. I don't know why, what I bought it for. But then when everything was kitted that I was going to kit, so I don't know. I don't know if I purchased this originally for Nutcracker Village, maybe. That's the only large thing that I can possibly think of that I might have ordered this for. So there's the W in winter. I think you can see it's a light blue. So I think the next time I'll pick it up, I'll finish everything around it. The bird, there's a snowflake here. It calls for blending filament to be used with the white. And I knew I had some, and I'm like, now, okay, so where did you put it? And I said, I think it's in Winter in the Village. So I went there, and sure enough, it was there. That made me feel so good. So anyway, I'll finish everything there before I go on to the eye. And that's it for what I've been stitching. And I put in 633 stitches yesterday. Okay. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to do another giveaway, so I am going to do it. And I will allow 2 weeks. So the cutoff date, if you're watching this video, and then I put in another video up next week, if you're still, you can put your comments on this video only until June 8th at 11:59 p.m. And June 8th, I just want to make sure, is a Sunday. So June 8th, Sunday at 11:59. I won't take any more I don't know, what do you call them? Come on, say it louder so I can hear it. Any more comments of trying to win this. So June 8th, 11:59 p.m. And then June 9th, this is Monday, I will select the winners of the giveaway, and I'll probably announce it next Tuesday. I'm going to shoot for a Tuesday next week. Fingers crossed. Next week, but 2 weeks later is when I'll be calling oh, I got it all confused. I think you understand though. I'm doing a video next week, but the contest is not over, or the giveaway is not over until the following Sunday at 11:59, and I'll do a random number generator on the Monday and announce it on Tuesday. The first one is Clovis and Stanley. It's so funny. I was picking them out and I said, oh, Clovis and Stanley. And I look up and sure, that was it. And then I forget when I show it to you. This would be number 1. All you have to do is put the numerical number down. You don't have to put it in a sentence. You can just put 1, 2, 3 if you're interested. And you'll be, if you win one, and then I'll select somebody if you win again for the next one. Number 2 is called Spring Chicks. It's a pillow, needlebook, and nest. So I'm assuming this is the nest. It's a round finish in a hoop. The needlebook is this little egg, and then these are the 2 little chicks, which is the pillow. And this is by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. That's number 2. And number 3 is the Blue Flower Acorn Autumn Drum. Okay, those are your 3 again. 1, 2, and or 3. And you can, you don't have to put separate messages. You can put them all in one. I read it. It makes sense. I write it down. Okay, so that's everything. Let me just show you my Whipgo board. Today I'm supposed to be working on Under the Friendship Tree for the 2nd day, and that will take care of my Whipgo for this month. June's numbers were called, and that is Angel of Light, number 23, and number 21 is Winter in the Village. Winter in the Village up here. And because I do a 1-day rotation now, I will work on them for 2 days, as much as I get done in the 2 days, but I'll do like maybe the first week in June, I'll work on them, and then maybe the 3rd or the 4th week in June, I'll put that 2nd day in, so that it's not the same rotation for me and for you. And so the magazine monthly challenge was all met, and that was the word mahogany, and the 24 hours was heroic voyage, and that too is also met, and they were a minimum of 200 stitches, but on a lot of them I put in more. I know some people like to know how I get everything in. I usually do a scrap piece of paper, and I list all my days, which is this, and then I do whatever acrostics that I'm working on. So this is my Whipgo. This is the magazine monthly, which the June word is sweets. Sweets, plural. S-W-E-E-T-S. The 24 hours is perilous task. They put it out the last day of the month or the first of the next month or the starting month. But somebody in our group has a subscription, so we're able to get the word to plan for last night. These are days that I mark off here, such as Father's Day, Saturday meetup group, which is 10 to 2, I think it is, 4 hours. We have 2 birthdays in June. So I mark them all down, and then my library group on Tuesdays. And so what I do when I plan these days, if I'm going to the library on the weekly, it's for 2 hours. So I usually try to take something where I don't have to count much. Maybe I can fill in something. For the 4 hours meetup, I try to bring also something like that. And then like Father's Day, I try to pick something really simple. If, you know, I first of all, I don't know where we're going or if we're hosting or whatever. So, but I always like mark it down. So maybe I'll do something small, because if after everybody leaves and if I'm tired, maybe the small might entice me rather than something really intricate. So those are the things that I look for when I plan. So the next thing I do here is I start figuring out what I'm going to work on what days, and then I would put that in here. And that's how I plan my month. And for the most part, I change it. I was going to say I stick to it, but I don't. I start making arrows. Okay, this I'll put here, and this I'll bring it down here. And okay, so I have some great news. And the news is, a lot of people have been saying to me and to Dina, Half Stitch Cross Stitch, that they would like to participate in the Great British Bake Off, or that they're going to be doing it. So what we did was, so this is between Dina, Donna, and myself, as far as we plan it. We came up with a Facebook group, and I'll also put it in the drop-down menu. It's the capital G, capital B, capital B-O, GGBO for Great British Bake Off. Capital SAL, all in caps, group. So it's GBBO SAL group. It's going to be a public group. There aren't going to be any prizes. It's just to give you some inspiration to maybe work on certain projects, maybe that you don't want to work on for a long time, but for 100 stitches or so, once a week. Anyway, there's a rules file, and basically is, be kind to everybody. You can post your pictures of your progress. Make sure you take before and after pictures. So this was the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And when the new season comes, whenever that is, whether it's the end of this year or next year, I'm sure she is going to be playing that game or leading it, and we will participate in her game. This is from a past season. It's season 8 that we're working from, and this is what we came up with, how many stitches. So if somebody gets a handshake, so you have to have, I guess, Netflix to participate so that you know who the bakers are. So if somebody gets a handshake, that's 150 stitches. If somebody comes in first place, it's 100. If somebody comes in last place, it's 50. If they get Star Baker, it's 125. If they going home, you work on that project 75 stitches. But if nobody gets a handshake in an episode, not to lose the 150 stitches, we decided to add it to the 75 for a total of 225 stitches. So the person that is going home, whatever project you assign that happened to that baker, at least you get some stitches in it. So that's how we came up with what we will be using. And there's some forms in the file section in the Facebook group if you want to download them. So last night we folded our papers. They're all open now because we picked names, and we had the names of the bakers. You could screenshot this. I'll try and hold it up as I'm talking if you want to write really quickly. So there are 12 bakers. I believe that's 10 episodes, because the 10th episode, like whatever 3 bakers are left, they choose the winner from there. They don't go another episode. It's 10 episodes. So, so this is the order of how they were visually on the screen by name. Their name had to appear on the screen. And this is the order that they were in. And then what we did was we put our 12 projects into a little jar of some sort, folded it up, and then everyone, we picked one and we told each other what it was. And for instance, like for Linda, mine was Love You Latte by Brenda Gervais. And so I wrote that in. For Mac, Noel in Rouge. So we did that for the 12 projects that we already decided we were going to use. Now, for instance, I don't know, but I'm just going to pick October 21st, 31st. There was some stitching that needed to be done on it. Maybe it was halfway done, maybe not quite. Now, if Dave, I don't know, if he happens to be good and he gets a lot of wins of a star baker or a handshake, and I end up finishing this, I have alternatives, pieces that I will pick from and fill in. Like Summer Trio, Relax. I don't know, maybe I don't know if she's selected. Maybe I can finish that. Noel and Rouge, I had about, I think 2/3 of it, this sweater done, so maybe that might get finished. So if something should be finished before they leave, then I'll just substitute it with like one of the, I think there were 4 that I selected that I can put in. Like, for instance, Nativity Tiny Town. I think there's a lot of stitching left on it. So if he hangs around and makes it to the end, I might finish it, but you know, you never know. So that's how we did it. So we assigned a project to every baker. So we did watch the first episode, and this weekend we're going to start it. So by the next time I come to you, I should have 4 or 5 projects from the Great British Bake Off. And I say 4 or 5 because if there's no handshake, it's going to be just 4. But the one going home then will get the extra 150. So I know the results, but I'm not going to share that with you. Like as far as the first episode, because we had to look at it to make sure we all had the names in the correct order. And so in order to do that, you got to see the episode. And so that we didn't have any, like decide, we know who was going home. We just picked it out of the hat so that we didn't put a pattern there that maybe, oh, well, if it goes home, it goes home. So that was like, because if it was a real season, you don't see it until Friday night. And then you would have to figure out, or you would have your 12 projects, and as they say their names, then you put their name on it and attach it, and then you work from there. So anyway, we tried to be as random as possible, and that's it. So if you like to play along with us, we'd love to see your work. You have the option of posting every baker. Like if for the first one, I don't know, I don't remember details. I'm going to put my name as it. Lori, 1-star baker. So that's 125. So the pattern attached to her was Nativity Tiny Town. Then you take the picture first. You do your 125 stitches. You take the picture again and you post it in the Facebook group. Again, that's GBBO Sal group. And like I said, there'd be no prizes. It's just a way of showing people what you've worked on, how much you've worked on it, and playing the game. And I know some of you have mentioned it to me like, oh, I'd like to join if I could. And so there's your chance. And I hope that you do. And, you know, we'll be looking through them as well and posting our progress on them. So I hope you join us. I don't know why I'm so hyper. I think it was a stressful morning. Anyway, that being said, I think I touched everything that I wanted to talk about today. I can't think of a question right now. So if you want to make a comment, feel free. If you have a question, please feel free. I'd be happy to answer anything that I can. And if you just want to put down numbers, that's fine as well. But hope to be back next Tuesday and show you how I did on the Great British Bake Off and everything else. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.